What's up, y'all? What's going on? It's Cut Different, hashtag Cut Different on your social media and your streaming platforms. I got a special guest in here with me today. I got Brother Tony. Little Tony in the hood is what they call him. How you doing, man? It's been a while.
I'm good, man. Yeah, it has been a while.
They've been asking for you.
Yeah, appreciate you. Appreciate you inviting me to it. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to sip some more of my tea. But we about to spill some tea. Spill it. It's I don't know if I want to center the show around him, but I've noticed over the past week, and that's why I gave you a call about the snippet of his sermon, and at that point, usually I try to go listen to the whole thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I thought just that clip alone told me that he couldn't have said anything that was better in front or behind that to clean that up.
No.
Just making that statement, and then, whomever on social media decided to take that clip and just share it with the world. I thought it was crazy, and for y'all that don't know, I'm talking about Devon Franklin's a week ago sermon. It's not even old. This is fresh. So if you haven't seen it, I'm about to make you go look for it. So it shined a light to me on one of the biggest problems with the black church, and that is that it's no balance to it. You can go in any black church at any given time, and you're probably going to see at least 75% women. That's being generous with most times, unlike, what I would call white churches or mixed churches. It's always going to be a healthy balance. They're not going to go too low because they cater more to the whole family and not just the woman.
Okay.
In my experience.
Okay.
So, just to give y'all a synopsis of Brother Franklin's sermon, the snippet, anyway, that's circulating right now. He said that women were made complete, pretty much. They were made complete and they don't need a man. God didn't design them to need a man. And that's when I was like, wow. And the first time I saw it, I seen it in the side by side, and it wasn't the one that I sent you.
Okay.
It was a woman in a bonnet. And every time he said anything, she was like, yeah, that's right. And I was like, what about our daughters?
Right.
What about our daughters? What about our sisters?
Right.
What about, these are going to be the future, well, it don't seem like there's going to be a future wives. Like what is going on? If this is the mindset that we're projecting, we need to do something. Even on this small platform.
Yeah. I when I heard it, because that's why I asked you, I said, send me the clip, because I wanted to kind of hear most of it. Because some people, when they say stuff, you listen to the context of what they say, and you kind of be like, oh, maybe something. But no. I don't know where he's getting it from. I really don't.
He said Genesis.
Yeah, it ain't, Genesis. See, when you try to make the word fit the world's agenda, you go wrong every time. And that's what he's trying to do. Because, think about it. It's now, the women live movement is probably bigger than it's probably ever been. About women not needing anybody, which is such error. Because this is the thing. If women did not need men, how did he get here?
Yeah.
That's just on that part of it. Yeah. How he get here? Yeah. And if he want to come from Genesis, he said, man and woman, and let them what? Multiply. Yeah. So let's just talk on that part. If they don't need a man, how is anybody going to multiply? Because the whole thing is for what? For God to plenish, for man and women to plenish what? The earth.
Yeah.
So right there, he's flawed.
Yeah.
He's flawed in that aspect. Now, let's go to another part of it. When you look at the Bible and you go to, because this is Bible, he's talking Bible.
Yeah.
When you go to 1 Peter, right? And I think it's chapter 3, somewhere up in there, when he's talking about how a woman should be, how she should adorn herself, but not just in makeup and not just in, apparel. But then he comes down that they should be adorned pretty much in loving God, right? And looking to God, right?
Right.
Then it comes down and say, there's the one people always talk about the women as the weaker vessel. But that's not really what it's saying. It's saying that they're the weaker vessel because why? They look at all this other stuff, the adorning of the hair and the makeup and all this stuff and the clothing. And man is there to help them realize it ain't all about that.
Yeah.
Because guess what? Women are emotional.
Yeah.
They're more emotional, right?
Yeah.
Think about a man. Let's just go with the average man, right? The average. Do they need a house that's all extravagant with all this stuff in it? Do you think they need that? No. Do you think they need a closet full of shoes, 50, 30, 70 pair of shoes?
Mm-mm.
They need black, brown, those basic colors. How many suits you think they got? Enough, right? But now let's look at a woman's closet. You can't even push it hard. You got to push it to get another piece of clothing in there.
Yeah.
Let's go to the stores, bro. Let's just look at it, right? Mm-hmm. When you go in a store, you got a part that's a man's in a retail store.
Really small.
It's really small. Now let's look at the rest of the store.
All women's stuff.
All women's stuff. Yeah. So man, that's why they need a man to help them to say, look, let's scale it back. You don't need this. You don't need that. Because they all about what? Materialist stuff.
Mm-hmm. They love pretty things.
They love pretty things. Nothing wrong with it. I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, ladies. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is a man is there to help you, to keep you on track, to guide you.
Scale it back a little bit.
To scale it back.
Yeah.
Because if it wasn't for that.
Oh yeah.
And you see it now.
They wouldn't even have to put sale on nothing no more. They just buy it.
Just buy it.
Yeah. Yeah. Because it's I try to understand it, but I don't. But women are designed that way.
They're designed that way.
Yeah. As much as they can get of the pretty things, they're going to get it.
They're going to get it.
Yeah.
Is anything wrong with it? Absolutely not.
Right.
But there's a balance to it.
Yeah.
And who brings the balance?
Man.
The man.
Yeah.
Now what happens is, and what has happened, was man has now taken a step backward. Not all. Mm-hmm. Not all men. But we have taken a step back and said, let them just do what they want to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's expected.
And it's expected.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like pulling teeth to get compromise out of like most relationships these days, because if what's the saying now? If mama not happy, ain't nobody happy. And that's not the case.
That's not the case. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And we've adopted that saying.
Yeah.
And we started running with it. And guess what? Now we've made it a part of who we are.
Yeah.
And our lifestyle.
Yeah. In this country in particular.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And we get mad at the other countries where the man is still, we know, listen, when God said, let them have authority and rule over the earth. Just paraphrasing. So, because some of y'all come back, no, that ain't what the word said. I'm paraphrasing now. Authority means they both have authority. Ain't one ruling over the other one. But now we got roles that we need to play that God has established to help one another.
Yeah. they're equally important.
Absolutely.
In a sense, we are equal, but we're not. My role is something totally different than yours.
Come on.
Now, because I was put into the leadership role, that does not mean that makes your role lesser than mine. Because if I rule over everything, as far as headship is concerned, all the things that you do are equally important.
Absolutely.
You don't have to feel less than because I'm in this position. Your position is power too. Oh. And God ordained your position just like He ordained mine.
Yes.
So if He ordained the position of helpmeet, that doesn't mean that you're a floor mat. You're a do boy, a do girl. You're my slave. It doesn't mean that. You know what I mean?
That's right.
And I think a lot of it is interpretation. So we interpret it negatively, then you're going to think of it negatively.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times these people that are out here preaching, they need healing anyway.
Yes.
They're broken.
That's true.
And I don't want to speak on him particularly too long because I don't know him.
Right.
But I know from the perception he's left me with a lot of times when I've heard his interviews after his divorce from Megan Good, he sounds hurt. He sounds like he hasn't fully healed, and I can see why he goes out and says the things that he's saying to women or to the congregations across the world because he hasn't yet dealt with what he needs to deal with inside himself.
Yeah.
So when he, in a sense to me, when he's saying women, that's how he feels. Mm-hmm. He don't feel like he need anybody because he's hurt, and hurt people always separate themselves. And that separation is always the baby of the devil.
I get you.
Let's create these islands.
Yes.
And I can mess up the whole kingdom if I create more islands. So if I make everybody feel like they don't need anybody, how God gonna do without His army? That's what the devil thinks. That's when I project. Even though he will never win, that don't mean he's not gonna try.
Right.
He's going to keep trying.
Yes, absolutely. And something that you said earlier, you said, what about our daughters? What about other women?
Yeah.
Think about this. If he's telling women, if this individual is telling women they are whole, they don't need nobody. Okay, so now, remember, women are needy, right? Mm-hmm. As far as they need affection, they need romance, they need these things, right? So you don't need a man. So now what is he trying to tell them to do? Let's just look at it. You don't need a man. So what do you need? You still need romance, you still needy. So you need something. So now what does he want you to do? A woman? Mm-hmm. So now what does he want you to do? Turn to a woman? Mm-hmm. So you don't need a man, but you need something. Yeah. Because God designed it for you to need something. Yeah. So now what do you turn to? Yeah. See, you opening up something that, and I think it go back to if a person's hurt, they open up something to try to distract from their pain.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think the Bible has always been specific when it comes to not just evil but good. Those two energies, those two likenesses, I say it like that. Those two things need the same thing to get started. Just give me a door.
Yes.
God said all I need is a faith of a mustard seed.
Come on.
That size.
Come on.
If I can get good in there like that, if you crack the door for something evil, that's all it needs.
Yes. I agree.
Yeah. So when you start saying, okay, I don't need a man, and men too, if I've recently started hearing men say they don't need a woman, and that always throws me like, I don't know any man like that, bro.
Right.
But I'll try to be patient and listen. So if you don't need a man, and you start looking for alternatives, like now just packs of women with their girlfriends. Packs of women with their girlfriends spouting out bitterness and doubt and hurt about dealing with men. Mm-hmm. Now these become your confidants. Now when you want to go on romantic trips, they girl trips now. Any man approach a table, you turn them away. I'm hanging out with my girls. That becomes more important than you establishing what God already put in us in the beginning. I'm fast tracking a little bit because I don't want to be too long winded, but I got a lot to say about this. So, to me, part of being a Christian is all things God.
Yes.
That's to me, that's the biggest part. And the biggest the most important thing in being a Christian is relationship.
Absolutely.
So if you don't have the relationships that you should have, how are you in this realm? How are you over here on this side? How are you rocking with Jesus if you don't want relationships?
Right.
And part of that, the first ministry will always be Adam and Eve, man and woman.
That's it.
So if the birth of our ministry comes from man and woman, and this is the core of your belief, and you're telling the world, I don't want that. Because I know the numbers, and I know the Bible specific about also that, men and women will outnumber men. But if you think about all the single people that you've ever known, the ones that truly want to be in that ministry are in it. There's somebody out there for the people that truly want, because when you say you truly want, you got to be willing to do the work it takes to make that ministry work. Right?
That's right. And that's the thing, the work.
Yeah.
And I go back to something that you said. That relationship, right, starts with God. So when you start with God, then everything else falls in line. Mm-hmm. That's why when you start with God, if your relationship is with God, man or woman on both sides, right? Mm-hmm. Now you following God and you follow what his word says. And guess what? Now, for women and for men, if you following God, men, what he say? It is not good for you to be alone. Why did he say that? Why did he say that? Because he had created all of these animals, right? And there was none comparable to Adam. Right, none. Why was there none comparable? Because they was not able to do what? Be fruitful and multiply. Right. Not a man and a goat, not a man and a dog, not a man and a cow, not a man and nothing, but a man and a what? A woman.
Unless you're from Kentucky.
Boy, you better. You know what?
That's why the garden wasn't in Kentucky.
I don't know what.
Yeah.
But that whole thing behind that is our relationship. Our relationship, their relationship was what? Adam's relationship was with God.
Right.
Then God says, it's not good for him to be alone. Okay, he talking to me, blah, blah. But he needs somebody down here with him. Yeah. Right? So now he created a woman. For them to what? Be fruitful and multiply. And then she's supposed to help him what? Encourage him. Mm-hmm. Build him up. Mm-hmm. Because, man, think about it. Let's just go next. Let's say we out here working. We out here. We strive. We doing what we got to do. We're providing for our homes. We're doing. And when you come home, guess what she doing? Baby, how you doing? How was your day? Building you up. Yeah. Not tearing you down. Oh, you ain't this, you ain't that. Well, what do women do now? A lot of them that's single because they've been in bad relationships. And relationships that they got into that they probably should not have been in. Okay? Because they didn't follow the model. But anyway. Yeah. So then what do? They badmouth them. They down them. Mm-hmm. They dog them out. Yeah. And now they say, we don't need nobody. Yeah. That ain't true. See, that's a trick of the enemy to get you on what you just said. They created what? An island. Yeah. Because now he wants you on what? An island. Yeah. Because truly, you're by yourself. Right.
Right. And you can't nobody get to you.
Can't nobody get to you.
And piggybacking off of what you said about, the creation of it all, if God wanted you just to meet up and group up with just your girlfriends, Adam companion would have been his buddy. He would have had Steve, and he would have gave them basketball or football, and just left it at that.
But he didn't.
Alone, after even if your closest friend is never going to be as close as your spouse.
That's a fact.
When you go home at night, you're going home alone. You're sleeping in bed alone. Nobody can be there for you like that ministry can of husband and wife.
And I'm going to throw something else in there. And I don't want none of y'all to get this wrong, right? Don't. Why do you think when women get with other women, why one of them want to look like a dude and the other one want to act like the female? Because they want what?
Energy. Yeah.
They want the masculine energy,
yeah.
Right? So they try to portray it. I'm the dude. No bashing. Yeah. I'm not saying that. Yeah. But what I'm saying, let's just look at it. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing for the guy. When a guy get with another guy, one I'm trying to act just like a woman, mm-hmm. and one I'm trying to act, they like, oh, I'm the guy. Mm-hmm. Why? Mm-hmm. Because God had designed it for man to be with woman and woman to be with man. Yeah. But you want to portray something that you're not. Yeah. I know we're getting off the subject, but I just had to bring that back to
all of this is on subject. I mean, that even goes into like all the other species on Earth. They all have both. They all have both. They need it.
And look, that's animals that know the right way. Yeah. Animals. Mm-hmm. And we supposed to be in the image of God. And the enemy has let people pervert it mm-hmm. to change it to something that's not even natural.
Right. Right. And just knowing, it's something innate. Like if you've ever been loved by a woman, and this is what I feel like the posses have forgotten. When you are truly loved by a woman, you can't walk in a room and she isn't trying to fix you. She's going, hey, we finna go somewhere nice. Let me get your shirt. Like your tie not good. Your shirt kind of wrinkled. Take it off. Let me iron it. Did you eat? You hungry? Like that's a natural thing for a woman that cares.
Yes.
About a man. She wants to help him.
Absolutely.
She wants.
Hence, help him.
Me. Yeah.
Help me.
Yeah. Yeah.
My wife does it all the time. I look. I go in there. I put something on. I come in there, and she like, mm-hmm. Them shoes ain't working, or them pants ain't working. Mm-hmm. Well, let's go in here and look and see what you got in the closet. Okay, that worked. Yeah. Sometimes I can't pick out that stuff, but she can. Yeah. Why? She don't want me to leave out the house looking no any type of way.
Yeah, yeah. And think about it for the women that are listening. As we said, those two things right there, those three things. A reason, that thing in you that said you don't want to do all that, or you feel like a woman shouldn't have to do all of that, be a helper to a man and all that. That thing in you that said that you didn't want to do it, it was negative. It was a negative experience that made you not want to do that. Because naturally you want to.
Right.
Yeah?
That's true. And you know what? They, on both sides.
Yeah.
Men force themselves not to be naturally the way God made them. Right. It's a force. Yeah. You push to be negative and to be not how God made you. Right. Same thing for women. Just like you just said. If they make themselves, I mean, it's a struggle. It's not natural to not help. It's not natural. I mean, it's natural to help. So when you go against that, it's like, and that's what make you so bitter. Mm-hmm. It make you angry. Mm-hmm. It make them resentful. Because you're going against the natural order that God has made you. Yeah. And when you go against the natural order, man, it's a battle.
It never comes from a good place. If you've been doing it for a long time, there's women and men out there that's been single for like 10 years, 15 years. and they naturally don't feel like they have to get into those roles of, I have to be a provider. Being a provider doesn't mean that you have to pay for everything.
Right.
It
That's
means
right.
that everything you have goes into this.
Come on, man.
You know what I mean? And being a woman, being a helpmeet, it doesn't mean that you have to do all the cooking. You have to do all the cleaning. It means that, and it doesn't mean that you have to be a good cook. It doesn't mean that you have to be a porn star in bed. It doesn't mean none of those things. What it means is everything I got to give you to help this family, I'm going to give it.
Man, that's something.
What we don't have, we'll manage together.
Yes, absolutely.
You know? And I feel like that part of the conversation is often left out, especially with the black church. They don't. There's no togetherness. There's you're the leader, I'm the wife, and we both have to figure out our worlds separately.
Mm.
When in truth, the only way we really gonna figure out each other's roles or worlds is together.
That's it.
We got to do it together.
Absolutely.
That's the only way it's ever gonna be cohesive.
Absolutely.
We have to do this thing together. What you lack in your area, I need to come over here and say, hey.
That's it. That's it.
That's what the Bible tells. That's what my Bible tells me.
That's it.
Come over here and help.
That's it.
Come over here and guide and make sure that you get what you need to get together. And over here, it doesn't mean that my credit score need to be a 750 and I need to make six figures and I need to be like the ultimate provider, like my wife can't work. But over here, if I don't have enough to provide all of our needs, and she got to work a job or even a part-time job to get us where it's things that we both like and want in this world. Why are you working to help get some of this stuff is a bad thing? That's not a bad thing.
No.
Like, because a lot of women not going to stop working when they get married anyway.
That's right.
They like working. They might love their career.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you're out here looking for a man that has to have X, Y, Z in order for you to consider him. No, that's what the help is for.
As you come together as you one.
Not boyfriend and girlfriend, though.
No.
Not friends.
No. So I'm talking about when you come together as one, not boyfriend and girlfriend, when you get married. See, boyfriend and girlfriend, see where they mess up at. Me personally, where they mess up at is they come together, they put all their stuff together. You don't know. Matter of fact, I'll give you a good example. I got a person that I know, I'm not going to say, don't nobody know him. Gentleman moved in, sold his house, moved in with the young lady, right? Now he sold his house. There for about 6 months, couldn't take it. He gone now. But now he got to start all over.
All the way over.
He got to start all over. And I'm like, well, you did it backwards. You moved in with her. You sold your house. Why? What you should have done was date her. And I'm going to go here. Now, I know we're going to leave this long. I'm going to go here. First of all, everybody that's listening, I'm just going to be, when sex gets involved, your eyes get closed. And you miss every red flag that's there. Yeah. Let's just be real.
Yeah, you do.
Because that stuff go out the window. Yeah. And you start saying, well, I might can live with this, I might can live with that, and but you know it ain't right. And you know your relationship ain't right. You know there's things you can't stand about that person. Mm-hmm. But, hey, you having the sex changes things, man.
Absolutely.
So just be careful with that. Because it throws all of your thinking and all of your reasoning and rationale out the window.
Yeah. It gives it a value that it shouldn't have in the getting to know you stage.
Yeah.
That's it. It increases a connection that probably wouldn't be there. You know what I mean? If we're having sex, that tells me that we got something when we probably don't.
Yeah.
Because of every night, everything we do leads to that every day. It's all about that all day long. That means the conversation we had earlier today. You know, that flirting, letting you know that,
Yeah.
that's going to go down after dinner
Right.
tonight, after the movie tonight.
Yeah.
After we can't cuddle on the couch together without that being the end result of it. And it makes you feel like you're closer to somebody than you actually are.
That's true. That's true.
That's what sex produces.
That's
it makes
true.
you feel like you're this might be the real thing, right?
Yeah. And it ends up you invest a tremendous amount of time into an individual that you really don't have a connection with, except sexually.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, and that hence those people once you break up with someone and that's been y'all interaction that produces those type of sermons.
That's it. Come on,
you
bro.
were out of order.
You turned it. You brought it back.
Yeah.
Brought it right back.
You're out of order. That way you can look at a sermon like that and be like, yeah, I don't need that because everybody like her. Everybody like him.
Yes.
I don't need it. Don't want it.
Come on, bro.
And you missing the whole, and the whole time we're missing the oneness. You know, God is one. You think about, God, Jesus, the Holy Spirit, faith. All of that is masculine and feminine, and that's what makes them. That's what makes God.
Yeah.
He's all of these things. He's the mother when you need him to be. He's the father when you need him to be, because he encompasses all of that.
Yes.
When he made us in his image, us. I made woman out of the image of the man that I made in my image. So when I took his rib to make you, you are part of me too.
Oh.
So I need to bring y'all together for the truth of this ministry. You can't do this separately. You can't do this without each other.
Well, that's what's up. That's what's up.
You can't do it without each other.
That's what's up.
I need you both together.
That's what's up. I love it. Yeah. Well, hey, drop the mic, y'all. Drop the mic.
Yeah, that's about all I got when it comes to that. That's a perfect way to end or start the conversation.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure we'll have some more things to input later on. But I'm gonna keep inviting you back, brother.
Yeah, I love it,
keep
man.
inviting you back.
I love to be
back on the roll.
Yeah,
brother, a little settled down now, so get some things together.
Yes, sir.
Bought me a lawnmower.
I see that.
So I appreciate you for coming by.
I appreciate you inviting me, bro.
Yeah. So y'all let us know what y'all think, and like, share, comment, and even if you don't want to do that, just have a conversation amongst yourselves. Investigate. The devil needs to be investigated. He needs to be put on trial. Not just God, not all things Bible, because a lot of the conversations we have, it seems like we always putting whether or not we should believe in the Bible or believe in God, we always putting God on trial. Nobody puts the devil on trial.
Wow.
Let's put him on trial, y'all.
Wow.
So, Brother Tony, hey, man, I love you.
Bro, I love you too, man. Appreciate you. I definitely appreciate you.
And this has been Cut Different. You can check us out on Facebook, Instagram. You can probably see a smoke signal later on today. We might come up with a bat signal. Like the dude in Alabama, I'm going to put it on the hat and throw it up there.
You know what?
But you could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. These are our 2 cents. Spend them or save them. We out of here, y'all.